All right, we're back with City Manager Tim Eggleston and Council President Nick Church, and Andy is working on our situation here with the computer, so it's starting to come back. But nice day out there. I noticed your truck's wet. Is that just dew?
Yeah.
It's not. It didn't rain.
No.
Since I got here.
No.
Okay.
Hey, what about those Spartans?
Yeah, that was that. We listened to that game.
Well, yeah, I went. It was.
Yeah.
They looked good.
Yeah.
I was absolutely surprised. They were just in a packed house.
Yeah, I understand they had a really good turnout for it, and I guess this coming Friday will be the same thing for the whiteout.
Yeah, the weather's not looking too good for it as of this morning. I'm hoping it doesn't pour or get rained out.
Is it supposed to rain Friday?
That's what I see this morning on the Weather Channel. Thunderstorms and whatever may be.
They keep saying things and then they change it. Like yesterday, or a couple days ago, we were like a day behind what they were telling us we were going to have, and it's crazy out there.
It's a wind shift pattern.
Yeah, right.
They tend to change that weather all the
It's
time.
a jet stream,
so,
right?
Yeah,
By the way, I did see you, Tim, doing the bucket challenge with the Rotary members.
yeah, Corey made me really feel bad, so I did it again. That was the second time I had to do it.
Was it really?
Oh yeah, Marty Landon got me, so.
I didn't see the video on that one, but I did catch the one with the Rotary. That was a hot day. It should have felt kind of refreshing.
Cold water's never refreshing.
No, not with ice cubes in it.
That was good for the Rotary. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, tonight you got a work session. Starts at 6, right, Nick?
Yes.
6 o'clock. Open to the public if you want to attend that. Anything on the agenda?
The council's got to go in executive session and discuss the static building, and then we have a gentleman that wants to, one of the homes we tore down wants to, me to approach council and see if they'll reduce the assessment on it for mowing. So they'd like to get the properties, and the only ones that can do that is council. So we're going to discuss that, and I think there's a couple other issues.
That static building just won't go away.
10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
But at least the judge signed the foreclosure order for the tax sale, so it's going to go to tax sale. And then we have to decide what to do.
Somebody asked me the other day, Tim, is it occupied? Is there a business in it?
You know, I think they moved, there was a boat company in there, and I think they moved everything out. I haven't gone on the property to look.
Yeah, I told him I didn't know either. It's been so off and on, I don't.
I think there's some other people storing some stuff in there also, but other than that, it's really vacant.
Yeah. Now, we have winter coming up. I mean, we're a few months hopefully away from that, but please. But I did get reports that the salt is going to be outrageously high this year. Was it doubled?
It almost tripled. I think the last, we already have approximately 600 tons in stock. And we got that at the summer rate of about 57, I think, dollars a ton. And now what the state did was they broke it up into 2 contracts, the summer and the winter. So they bid out the winter, and it almost tripled. So hopefully we.
Why is that?
Is there supply and demand?
Shortage? Well, yeah. I remember last year, weren't we a little short with salt?
I don't think anybody really got their contracts fulfilled, which then you could sue the vendor, which you're going to spend more on suing them than it's you're going to get. But we fared up. We got through the winter just barely. Hopefully this year, the speculation is it'll be just as bad, but let's hope it's a little milder.
I know it's early, but you have a new public works director. And do you think that he'll make any changes as far as snow cleanup and that sort of stuff? Stay with the same game plan?
He's working with the guys, and I think you'll probably see a few changes on how streets are plowed.
From what I've seen, he's done a good job just being pretty good at this.
He's had a lot of things to deal with, catch up and those types of things. I mean, the compost center, he's gotten that cleaned up fairly well. So he's still got a little work to do out there. still working on the sign to get the sign up with the hours and the fees. Friday I had a gentleman from Kingsville. He paid, so we got him in there just to help him out. So we've got a few things we've got to clean up there.
I haven't been back there since you cleaned it up. Does it look pretty nice?
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The best that a compost site can look. You know,
Right.
but yeah, we have somebody there monitoring it now, and I went out there Thursday and talked to Will Hayes, and things were just moving right along.
Good.
It was going pretty good.
Good.
I guess they had a lot on Saturday too.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'm glad it's being used properly. I mean, it hasn't been for a while.
No, and the gentleman had no qualms paying us $15 to dump either.
Really?
He just didn't want to see the site closed, and it is. I mean, it's not just us that use it now. You can tell it's others outside the city. So.
I know somebody coming in from PA. Are they allowed to do that? Or if they pay, probably.
If they pay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was close. They apparently didn't watch the hours because they were going over there about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it didn't open till 1 that day.
And there was a couple, talking with the attendant, there was a couple that tried to slide in there
Oh yeah?
and asked for their driver's license, didn't want to produce their driver's license.
Really?
But told them, you don't produce your driver's license, then you're not going to use it.
Have you hired an attendant?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's somebody working there.
Two people. We got Tommy Dell's working Saturdays.
Is he?
Yeah. How long, we don't know.
Yeah.
And Will Hayes is working
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Okay.
and
I
Thursday.
don't know Will Hayes.
Lives across the street from me, and
Okay.
good guy, nice guy.
And normally what's going to happen is if you it's going to take us some time to get into it, but if you're outside the city, then you need to pay at if you're going to use cash, you need to go to the finance department first, and they'll give you a receipt to go in. Otherwise, we'll take a check or a certified check, cashier's check. We're trying not to handle money out of the site because it is so remote.
Right.
We don't want to have any safety issues.
Right. Good. That's good thinking there. I think that that's necessary. You know, it was funny yesterday. I was driving, and this was not during your watch, Tim, and certainly it wasn't anybody's watch. But Nick, you might be able to help me with this. But I'm driving down Route 20 yesterday. I didn't realize, for some reason, that the state that road needs fixed. And I don't think the state did a good job with this thing. It hasn't been 20. Didn't they promise us 20 years?
I think it's 20 years.
And it hasn't been that long. I mean,
2004.
was it only 10 years?
It was 2004 that I believe that they redid those streets, because I believe I was in office.
Yeah, okay. Boy, it's rough.
It is, and you know, I believe that Tim has asked CT Consultants to ask the state to come back and reevaluate our streets, 20 and Lake Road, because they're in such bad shape.
Yeah, and I don't know what caused it. If it's the weather that does that,
it was this extreme weather we had last winter. Is I believe it was what happened, because we're not the only city with bad streets. There's other communities that have the same thing and have gone in and asked, you know, the state to reevaluate theirs too. But it's
you get any response yet? Or?
They're still working on it with our representative for our district. Because I know the 20 out here is slated for repairs and stuff. So.
That being said, now next Monday we start our paving work.
Yes.
You know, so that'll go over what 2 weeks, two week timetable.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So. And I hate to put you on the spot. Do you know what streets are being done off the top of your head?
Day from Park Street to Erie, Park Street from Broad to Sandusky, Buffalo from Park to Lake, Mill from Lake to Erie, William Street, Harbor from the intersection there at State and Harbor to the tracks, Washington.
Which part of Washington?
Washington from State to Liberty.
And then Broad from Maine to Liberty.
Alongside State Farm.
Yeah.
Oh
There.
yeah.
Which I understand the last time that was paved was about 35 years ago when John Roach was,
Really, is that long ago?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, so.
I was still working at the News Herald then. Wow. Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, I got a question. What's the city's rules on cats at large? I live on Keepus Road, and the neighbors probably got about 10 or 12 cats. And they can't even walk up and get the paper without stepping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've complained for many, many years. Is there any rules or?
We have nothing regarding cats.
I remember they had trouble over on Poplar Street years ago. A guy was feeding them, and it caused neighborhood spats and everything over that way. And I don't think there is an ordinance on feral cats or home cats. Could he get a hold of the health department maybe or something?
I've done that. I've done that when Bill Johnson was in there. He came out and he said he got sick from walking around there and stuff. And nothing's ever done.
Huh.
I mean, we can't have flower beds or anything.
That's terrible. That's terrible. I've heard other complaints in other areas as well where these cats are taking over neighborhoods like that, and that's not a healthy thing.
Yeah, you can't get rid of them because the animal rights people will be on you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And are they going to grade the roads on the dirt roads?
Are they going to grade the roads out that way?
Yeah, well, we'll be getting that set up. Mr. Luce is getting his plan together to start getting the roads in order. So far, they've been doing some grading out on the southern roads, or at least maintaining them at this point. So,
Where's this gentleman live?
Was it Keefus Road, sir?
Yeah, it's Keepus and Daniels and stuff. I mean, he can hardly go up the hill because of the bumps.
Okay,
You got to do something.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you for the
Keefus
call.
and Daniels.
Keefus Daniels Avenue area there. Okay. Yeah, if you want, like that gentleman has some concerns and stuff, that's what you need to do, 593-7181. And,
I don't know what the answer is to cats. I had
No.
that problem 10 years ago, and I really don't. If somebody has an idea, I'll be more than listen to anyone's idea. But I don't right offhand.
were you there when the Poplar Street thing was going on? Yeah, that might have been before your time.
I
That
don't
might
know.
have been back in the 80s. Yeah, they had a major problem over there. Now, hi, you're on the air.
Morning, Pat, Nick, and Tim.
Morning.
Hi, I have a suggestion for the cats.
Yeah?
Well, I turned somebody in, I had their plates, they dropped off a cat in the neighborhood, my old neighborhood. I called in and gave the license plate number. All they did was talk to them. They said there's nothing they could do about it. So you can trap these cats and dump them off in somebody else's neighborhood.
Yeah.
I complained about it. I mean, you're dumping these cats. They got to, that could have been somebody's cat that this person paid, trapped and dumped it off. It could have been somebody's cat, home cat. And I felt sorry for the cat, but it's running down around the neighborhood, getting in people's trash and everything now. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't want to recommend that you dump something.
No, that's evidently what's happening.
Yeah.
Sounds like what may be happening, don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
that's why you need to have your dogs and cats neutered and spaded.
Yep. Yeah, that's mandatory now if you get them from a rescue APL.
I mean, it's very hard to even get the animal control person out of Jefferson.
I know it is.
It's, I don't know what the answer is.
We seem to have, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it seems like you've got the trash situation, the cans out and that sort of stuff under control now. It seems like people are following the rules pretty much.
I think it's been pretty good myself. I think it's been excellent. I've
Yeah.
had them pretty good, but you drive around town and you don't see trash cans out on Friday. You don't see
Exactly.
the trucks going through town on Friday. I thought the town looked very, very good for D-Day weekend.
It did.
Drove around from end to end and whatever it may be, and I've seen one or two just this past weekend. I think it was Sunday. I drove by on 20, and there was a chair or love seat sitting out on the tree lawn,
Oh boy.
and on down on State Street there was a mattress. I don't know what it is with people who like to put that stuff on the tree lawn, but you know, we'll take care of it. But I think it's gotten a lot better.
Good, good. There was something else that was going to coincide with that. Now I can't remember what it was. I had a guy call in the other day, and he was complaining about all the rules and stuff that were in effect for this thing. And he kind of hinted that maybe they were going to waste management, and I go, that isn't the case. The city has not touched the other haulers. I think they have to do something within a year to get into recycling. I think it is.
Two.
Is
Two
it 2
years.
years?
About a year for the residents to have a trash can and put their bags in
Okay.
the trash can. Then 2 years, and then a year after that, then they have to offer recycling. Doesn't mean the residents have to do it, but I mean they can offer it at an extra cost.
Right.
So
Right.
they just have to offer it, which I know Newhart already offers some recycling.
Okay.
And then the one hauler is going to get compact trucks.
Oh.
Yeah, the one who has the pickup trucks. Those
Yeah,
are gonna
yeah.
Those are going to be basically outlawed. They will not be
Right.
used anymore to pick up trash curbside, but they can be used to clean out a garage or something like that. But to pick up trash on a curb, those trucks will no longer be used.
Okay.
Okay, and then Mr. Haas has come up and talked to us about
For
that,
Bob, yeah.
and that he is going to buy a smaller truck than one of the big compact trucks.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, I think it's done pretty good.
Good. That was a major concern there for a while, and as long as people are complying. What about the grass cutting? We're coming to the end of that, hopefully, but
Yes.
are you still having to do that?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's still a lot of properties that ownership is just not there, and we have to go out and cut it. But again, we're going to try to, those that we can, we're going to try to take to collection and get a court order to pay it, as opposed to putting it on as an assessment, which we never seem to be able to collect.
Wasn't John Williams several months ago said that there was a major deficit on people not paying? I mean, it was pretty high.
I think it was like $77,000.
I was going to say close to 90,000 or something.
Yeah, so that's why we kind of changed the rules a little this year on grass cutting. We want, either cut your grass or go to court,
Right.
and of course we got laughed at by some people because, because we were going to send them to court, but what's the difference between that and getting a traffic ticket?
Well,
You
I
don't
think-
put
I
a
think-
traffic ticket on your taxes.
I think somebody was told the other day by the judge that you could go to court or could go to jail if you don't
Yeah,
pay attention here. So
there you go, but, and there's rules everywhere. Do you think there's a lot of rules here in Conneaut? You ever go to some cities, I mean, there's certain colors you can paint your house and, and whatever may be. I know I was talking to Chuck Herb, who lives in Twinsburg. He goes, everybody has a trash can in Twinsburg, and it's all put out on one day, and it's all picked up on one day.
Chuck doesn't live here anymore?
He has I think he still has his house on
It's funny you bring
West
him
Main.
up because the other night I'm watching television and Fox Sports Ohio, I think it was. Chuck Herb was being interviewed
Was
about
he?
this little red car that he put together, really sharp little
Yeah.
sports car. And he was interviewed on the show and did a big long interview.
it
on
was
it.
in his Studebaker, was it?
I
had it put together?
I think it might have been. It's smaller
Yeah,
car.
but I think he's moved down by his kids. I think he still has his house. I don't think he sold his house. here.
Okay.
But I think his kids.
He looked good.
Down. Yeah. Yes, good guy.
Yeah, he's a very nice man. Morning, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
I need a little help here. I have a lot of brush and stuff to take to the compost, but the gentleman that was going to do it, he's working 7 days a week. Now I'm stuck and I need help. Now, is there anybody that I could call that I could pay to have this hauled for me? Because I don't drive or anything, so I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, all right. Well, there is a gentleman in town, he goes by the name of, his name's James Taylor, he goes by JT. And he does hauling, and he probably would be able to do that for you. I don't know if JT, if you're listening, call me. I probably don't have his number right in front of me here, but that's the man that you'd want to get a hold of. Nah, I don't have it in front of me right now. A lot of times he camps and he's gone, but I will try to get that number for you, ma'am. If you just keep listening, I'll try to get it for you, and we'll give it out to you. Now there's a situation that's understandable.
Yes.
A lady that can't get that stuff over there and needs a little help, assistance. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hi, Pat. This is Mark Baker. I do the shoveling and stuff.
Yeah,
I do hauling too.
you do. What was your name again?
Mark Baker.
Oh, Mark. Yeah, he's my shoveling guy.
Yeah, I got a trailer and truck. So.
What's your phone number, Mark?
599-2338.
2338. All right, the lady that's listening probably will be getting you a call. 599-2338, Mark Baker.
I sure appreciate it, Pat.
Thank you, Mark.
You have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
So that one.
Yeah, I guess we took care of that one. All right, we're going to take this call, then we'll take a break. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Pat. Hi, Tim. Hi, Dick.
Hi.
My number is 265.
This is JT.
Yeah,
265
1091.
1091.
Yes.
Okay.
I have two young men that are looking to make some Christmas money, and they're looking to do this kind of work again.
Okay. All right. 265 1091.
Yes.
All right, JT. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, JT is also available there, ma'am. His number again is 265-1091. So if you have two choices here. So maybe you can check it out and see if they can pick up your debris and take it over to the compost site, which I don't believe opens till 1.
It's open.
Open now.
Is it open now?
Yes.
Well,
It
8
opened.
o'clock. Huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
I drove by there and it was open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hi, you're on the air.
Morning, gentlemen. This
Hi.
is
Morning.
Tim Gildone.
Hey, Jimmy.
Okay, so now these guys are going to do this for these people, and they have to charge an extra $15 so they can dump it?
I don't have an answer for that.
I don't have the ordinance in front of me, I believe, so if they're a commercial hauler and they're going in there, they pay to dump.
But when we do this, we are working for the people of Conneaut. Sometimes I go there 6 times a day.
Wow.
It costs me $15 a dump.
It does? $15 per time. Wow. That gets kind
That
of...
is a little. So I have to charge people, then charge an extra $15 in order to get rid of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is, I think, to me, that is a little too high.
Okay. Okay. That's your opinion. All right, Jimmy. Thank you, bud.
All right, I guess I get no answer.
I guess not.
I don't have an answer.
All righty. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Is that $15 6 different locations, or is that $15? You know what I'm saying? If I do your house, is that $15, or is it 6 different locations?
Well, it sounds to me he goes to the compost site 15 times a day, times 15. Now, I thought there was something that would cover the whole, maybe that somebody proposed that, where you could buy a pass and it covered the whole day.
I think that it's, again, this thing's something that's evolving and growing, and, you know, it's something we can look at to say, okay, how do you do it? If the individual is doing one home, like say, leaving 2 or 3 times, or is he doing 3 or 4 different homes and paying the $15? That's one thing we've tried to look at it, say, okay, how are we going to do it? Because
Yeah.
it is quite a dilemma. Because some will say, well, I'm paying taxes. Why am I paying the $15? It's like, well, we never know where that debris is coming from. You can tell us it's coming from a home in Conneaut, but we can't verify it's coming from a home in Conneaut. So
One other thing, Tim, too, if they want to pay by check, can they pay check?
yeah, we'll take a check at the site, cashier's check, a regular check, or a certified check, whatever. If you want to pay cash, then if they go up to the finance department, they'll give them a receipt. They can show them the receipt. It'll be dated for that day to dump, and the attendant will take that. Like I say, we're trying to limit cash out there because it is a secluded area and it becomes a security risk.
That is on the agenda for tonight. I know I put it on their fees.
On fees?
For the compost site.
Okay. So that's
Good morning, gentlemen. The other day, them trains that go by with all that trash and stuff on it, there's stuff falling off of it, but it smelled so strong of garbage and stuff. Isn't there something that can be done about that? I mean, it smelled like garbage. It didn't smell like trash.
Nothing we can do about it.
I mean, they're hauling it from New York and dumping it someplace in Ohio. Is that legal to have garbage on it?
Don't know, can't answer that. I can't answer that, Linda.
It's strong. I mean, it's putrid sometimes when it goes through here, so.
I guess that'd be a question for your congressman to work with him on that, since that is interstate transportation.
Because I know that another lady called in about that up the street not too long ago too, but I've noticed a lot of debris laying along the railroad tracks and stuff, so there's stuff falling off of them trains. So, okay, I just thought I'd ask. I'll write some letters to them. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thanks, Linda.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Got a little email from Mo Canner, who lives up the West End. She said that her and her husband Jim rode by the stadium complex the other day and said it was just awesome. Quite a improvement over there. It's changed drastically over the last few years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You were at the grand opening that night. Did you make that?
I was about 15 minutes late.
Yeah,
but
I know you had something else to do.
My wife and I got there about 20 after 5. We just stayed back and let the ceremony go on.
Yeah.
But yes, it was very, very impressive.
Yeah, we got some footage that we're probably going to show you in a little bit on that. Morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Pat.
Hi.
I have a question for the city manager.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about mowing a little bit ago. I'm just curious as to why the golf course area is plotted out in lots for building. And you have a house, then you have high weeds, high brush. You have a house, high weeds, high brush along Lake Road. And along Whitney Road, I think it's been mowed like 2 foot in once this summer. And they're hanging out into the road. I'd like to know why they don't have to mow, like when you're finding people around town for not mowing.
Well, they do have to mow. They do get cited when they do violate the ordinance. They do mow up to the trees. They don't mow the whole golf course.
Not along Whitney Road, they don't.
Whitney, we have had them mow, when they have mowed it. I've driven
2
down
foot
there.
in.
Well, they only have to do about 6 foot in, if that, if they can get over there. And sometimes there's a bank there that they can't mow. So they've been...
Well, drive by there all the time. They mowed once this summer, and it was about 2 or 3 foot in.
If we receive a complaint, we do cite them and let them know that they do have to do that.
Why do you have a law that says they only have to mow 6 foot when there's other big lots around town that don't mow, that have to mow their whole lots that are big lots?
Well, I don't know if they have to mow their whole lot. Most of them might mow their lot.
There's one right across the street from the golf course that has to mow their whole lot.
That's a house.
Strawbridge property.
Well, that's a house. That's a developed lot. Like anybody, you have to mow your house.
So if you,
whether it's 3 acres or 5 acres, you have to mow your house, whether it's front, back, and sides. If it's undeveloped property, then you got a little more leeway, and that is developed property. So they have to mow the whole lot.
In other words, the golf course, when there's a house and then there's several lots, or one lot between, they don't have to mow those lots?
They mow back to up to the trees. usually, because I've seen the gentleman out there mowing.
I know it's a big job keeping up with it in the city, but it seems like, again, people have talked in the past about selective enforcement, and I really believe they're right when they say that.
Okay, appreciate your opinion.
Right.
Okay, well, I would like to see the Whitney Road mowed a little more so it doesn't get an accident there.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be animals coming around out there and cause an accident someday. One other problem that I want to say quickly, on Dean Avenue right near Nick's house, they have a brand new nice fence up. It's ridiculous because that's a tennis court fence and it's only about 4 or 5 foot high. There's balls flying out into Broad Street because, when they hit an errant shot, and it happens quite often. And some car's going to get hit, it's going to cause an accident there. Why they put a short fence around a tennis court is ridiculous. Do you have any answer for that?
Well, yeah, because eventually there's going to be a fence up there if the tennis courts remain, because they're coming to a point where they need work, and it's going to cost about $26,000 to fix the tennis courts.
They are the best tennis courts in town right now as far as surface.
Yeah. So
but why would you put a short fence up? That's asking for a accident, which would be the city's fault, or whoever's in charge of that park, which I believe would be the city.
That wouldn't be the city's fault. I'll disagree with you on that.
Basically, why wouldn't that be?
Basically, at this point, we're looking at some netting that would go on there and putting up the posts and closing that a little bit. But we do have some other work that needs to be done on that park, and it'll start moving forward.
Well, it's a nice fence, but I doubt if they're going to put up a new fence when they just put up a new fence. That fence should be 15, 20 foot high.
Well, the old fence that was there wasn't 15 or 20 foot high.
It was at least 15 foot high.
No, it wasn't. It was 6 foot.
6 foot.
No, it wasn't. Well,
okay.
I find the old fence. It was a lot higher.
Anyways,
Years.
We're moving. We're looking at other alternatives for that.
Netting or whatever.
Well, it's a lot higher than 6 foot on the old fence, and this fence is probably not even 6 foot.
It's not. It's 4 foot.
4 foot. Well, don't you agree that that's a dangerous situation?
Well, at this point, we're looking at other avenues for that if that tennis court does remain.
Well, I'm just trying to. I'd hate to see the tennis court go because we don't have any good tennis courts in Conneaut.
No,
the one on Liberty Street is terrible.
Yeah.
But that's the best tennis court. But we need a safe fence higher there, or netting or something, because you're just asking for an accident when somebody hits a tennis ball right into a car.
Okay.
Thank you.
So look into it.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before I let you go, Tim and Nick, there's some rumblings out there that could be some additions coming into town.
Talked with Conneaut Leather, and they're talking right now, anticipating a 30,000 square foot addition.
Really?
They're working
over
on
here.
Yep, they're working on some other things they need to take care of with the EPA and before they do expand. And also talking with General Aluminum. They're running out of space, and there's a good possibility they'll be expanding.
Fantastic.
I mean, they've said, if I'm not mistaken, talking to them the other day, they said they've pretty much doubled their workforce. Took a tour of the plant, and they are cramped.
Really?
They're really doing well.
Good for them. Things are, and this might sound a little bit too optimistic for some, but to me, I see a change coming. You got this, and I think Nick and I have talked about it. John Mundy taking over the old City News building and making it into another Starlight Video, and taking the old Starlight Video into a Chinese restaurant. I mean, those kind of things help fill up buildings, and not going to see some buildings sitting there without anybody in it.
Well, the state just released their figures that we've dropped in our LMI percentage. We're at 47% now from about 51. So that's even good news, knowing that our incomes are going up.
Right.
So
right.
that does help a lot for our income tax,
Sure.
which is what we generate to run the city.
Good deal. Take this last phone call. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Pat, it's Ken.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a question to Mr. Church.
Okay.
Mr. Church, the last time when we had a meeting was on air, when you and Mr. Garsha.
Who?
Garsha.
Yes. And you guys was arguing. And you should not have done it on the TV. You should do it behind closed doors. Because this way, people thinks that the council ain't get along good. You guys should work together as a team, not argument. Okay?
All right, Kenny.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your comments, Ken.
Yeah, he had called up last week and said basically the same thing. Only his opinion. All right, guys, did a good job today. It sounds like things are progressing pretty good.
We hope.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see some more expansion. At least with our current businesses, that's your sustainability through the community,
Sure.
and hopefully we can still attract new. I mean, there's some retailers are coming to talk to us, but nothing that we can mention at this point.
Okay.
May or may not happen, but hopefully it will.
Always have the door open. Huh?
Yes, we do.